Hey, we got a great contest for you. A chance to meet and get an autograph and photo with none other than Jaime Jaquez Jr. He is going to be at Hollywood Collectibles on Sunday, March 3rd. For your chance to win that meet and greet and autograph and photo with Jaime Jaquez Jr., text the word Miami to 20357. That's Miami to 20357. You just might win. If you don't win, you still want to go to Hollywood Collectibles, go to hollywoodcollectibles.com to purchase your tickets. It's a text contest. Message and data rates may apply. Bonus points to any of our listeners who get Jaime Jaquez to sign his new GQ pictures. If JFA could bring those up for us. We had Jaime, who is sexy on a flamingo on the cover of GQ Mexico.
Right.
But
Tobin
this
was going crazy.
This was amazing. I mean, he's coming out of the water. He's got nips out.
Oh, this is almost like what Aquaman does it. Right?
He's got to go shirtless vest to a game. Dolphin.
I mean, Jimmy went topless.
He did. He's done that on several occasions. Good to see Jimmy, by the way, back working out on Instagram. He's been pretty 0 dark 30 ever since he took a leave from the team. Jimmy was working out late at the local gyms yesterday. The Heat are back at practice tomorrow.
First game
Friday. There's a lot of action tomorrow, but the Heat don't start up again until Friday.
Yeah. A lot of basketball players to see Lil Jon.
Really?
A lot of them came. I guess they stopped on the way back to LA.
Including was Ty Lue with James Harden? I feel like James Harden's always
no. He was with was it Brian
Scalabrine?
Brian Shaw. And it was another player that I knew him when I saw him because I saw him first. And I wasn't gonna go up there and say hi to him because, well, he ain't have it like that. But no, you know what I'm saying. Like, here's why.
He ain't have it like that. Is funny, man.
Because I ain't have a tie-in. I ain't just gonna go holler. I gotta have a connection.
I got you.
You see what I'm saying? So even though I knew who it was, I didn't know our tie-in.
Mm-hmm.
So I ain't just gonna go rando fan on him. Like, Leroy don't do that.
I get you.
You know what I'm saying? And in most cases, like, dude, I ain't gonna lie. Ask Tobin. I just be minding my own business. Ain't like I'm like looking for no interactions with nobody, and you're just here in the distance wherever we are. Leroy. I'm like, I have no idea. So I had no idea.
Appreciate though, Schmeeth and Schmolnick, because I have my Marlins hat on backwards now, referring to me as fried Durst. It's good. All right, so
point for two.
So here's Tannenbaum. We were talking about this at the end of the last segment. We got the sound now. So Mike Tannenbaum, I saw this from Barry Jackson yesterday. Mike Tannenbaum apparently had hypothetical trades that he was doing. And one of them involves our very own Jaylen Waddle, Leroy. He has an idea for Jaylen Waddle.
I've heard people suggesting this, but because here, and here's the problem. Because of Tyreek, you don't realize how good Jaylen is.
Mm-hmm.
But ain't a whole bunch of people doing what Jaylen Waddle in the league is doing either. But you just overlook him because of Tyreek.
Well, here is Tannenbaum's suggestion on Get Up.
Yeah, I love this one. Two great young players. Trent McDuffie straight up for Jaylen Waddle, and here's why. If you're Miami, you're probably going to cut Xavier Howard as a cap casualty. So you get Trent McDuffie, who is a great young player. So that's for Miami. Obviously, you still have a great receiver in Tyreek Hill. On the other side of it, for Kansas City, you need a number one receiver. Jeff alluded to it earlier in the show. Jaylen Waddle really has a chance to be a number one. And under this scenario, Dan, I'm assuming you're going to franchise L'Jarius Sneed, and then you have some other younger corners in Jalen Watson and Joshua Williams. So these are great young players traded to fit needs on the other team.
All right, so there you go. Trading for all-pro cornerback Trent McDuffie in exchange for Jaylen Waddle. This was his suggestion, Leroy.
Here's what I would say. And here's the problem with this. It sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
and you fill a need while creating one. And you can't do that because now you're going to have 4 or 5 guys scrambling to beat Jaylen Waddle.
Mm-hmm.
And who's going to end up suffering for that is Tyreek.
For sure.
And so if you do that and then Tyreek's numbers drop, you're in real trouble.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is the whole point of it is I would say by the time Tyreek Hill, whenever it is, 2 more years, 3 more years that he's got left in the tank, that's when you're still going to have a young, in his prime Jaylen Waddle who's going to give you some more years. Yeah, you're probably going to have to maybe have some overlap on when Jaylen Waddle wants to get paid, but I get the need that is there at corner because you're going to get rid of Xavier Howard. But this was honestly my first reaction to the trade. If I'm an AFC team, what in God's name am I going to give Patrick Mahomes weapons?
Right.
That's the only hope you got. He's still doing it without weapons, but now I'm going to go give him Jaylen Waddle? If I'm a conference opponent, I think that's lunacy. I don't care what my cap situation is or what my need situation is. Giving that guy somebody with the talents of Jaylen Waddle seems insane to me.
Here's the other. I get what you're saying. That doesn't apply in football as much. It really doesn't,
dude.
It really doesn't.
Dude.
It doesn't apply to football that much. It's not like you trading a ace on a pitching staff or something like that, or you trading, a 20 and 10 guy in basketball that can make an immediate impact. He would make an impact, but not to the point where you all of a sudden got to be afraid of what you're doing and hurting yourself.
I think, first of all, I think it makes your offense a lot worse.
It does. I
you're giving
started
the best
conversation off by saying that.
I know, but I'm in addition, you're giving the best quarterback in the league who's you already can't beat. Now I'm solving his biggest problem.
Now, can I give you the other side of that?
What?
Here's the other side of that. Is that Patrick Mahomes is great, okay? But you got there because of your defense and what that secondary did. Are you really willing to give up a piece on that defense so you can improve an offense that was already good enough to win the championship? That's where I would have more of an issue with Kansas City doing it, because the other teams, all 31 other teams, are going to tweak the roster because they know what they got to beat. If you in the NFC, you got to find a way to compete with San Fran, right? If you're in the AFC, you got to find a way to not only compete with Kansas City, but Buffalo, you got to compete with the Ravens, right? And you're right there. So how much stronger is that going to make you by getting rid of the offensive weapon for a defensive weapon? And keep in mind, the only reason why I would even consider it if I'm the Dolphins is because you got a lot of guys that rush the passer that's going to be out. So you better be solid in the secondary when the season starts.
I get it. Well, first of all, this is another thing that I would say is, on the doorstep of Chris Greer.
They also had their draft.
Yeah, with Chris Greer is, hey man, they took a cornerback second round last year who didn't sniff the field. You're bringing in a DC that's supposedly going to put more of a tilt towards player development. That dude better be able to play. I can't go 2 years with your second round pick not playing at all.
It could be a bad pick. And from what I was hearing, that he had some issues coming out because he was supposed to be a first round pick. He has that talent, but it's the other stuff, right? Can we get you where you need to be? Can we get you with the right frame of mind? Can we get your work ethic to where we can depend on you? Those are all things that I have heard needs to improve to get him on the field.
But could you imagine though, dude, if the news hit today that the Dolphins had traded Jaylen Waddle to Patrick Mahomes, Like how people would be going nuts.
Oh, it would be a clown show.
People would be mocking the Dolphins for this. And
Yeah.
it's not, and I get it. Like Trent McDuffie was an all-pro. He's got more credentials right now as far as his position than Jaylen does as far as accolades are. Like Jaylen Waddle's put up incredible numbers, but I'm just saying the idea that you'd go give the GOAT and you would solve his number one receiver issue.
Here's what I would also say. If there's been questions about the players that you've drafted, I sure as hell wouldn't trade a person that I drafted that's playing well, because it messes with your numbers. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It messes with your numbers, your good draft numbers. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I would do it.
No, I wouldn't do it. But what were you mad at, Vlad? Because you have this.
Vlad got his own problems. Come on back, Vlad.
Vlad had his own thing. He's got his own issues that he's mad at Tannenbaum over. But Tannenbaum was he's like, I got some crazy ideas.
I mean, if let's think of it this way.
Sorry, I had to talk to the great Joe Zagacki.
Oh,
here's what I would say. What makes this very interesting is that you're going to be depleted defensively temporarily.
Yes.
And you're going to need something to hold you over. And I look at it like this. Without that pass rush, it don't matter who you have in the secondary. So whoever you bring in to replace X, if you go that route, how is he going to help that defense? If anything, I would bring in a rush guy, right? To kind of hold down the fort until these guys get back. Or maybe it's draft a guy
there's
something along those lines.
There's been some suggestions of them going and getting some pass rush help in the draft in the first round. Most of the mocks I see them going O-line.
Gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
If you get rid of as good as that Dolphins offense is, it's because it's sort of top heavy. You got Tyreek, you got Waddle, you got Mostert, you got A-Chain. Like, come on now. You get rid of Waddle, that offense is not the same.
Yeah, your next options are not that
it's
great.
Not the same. I know you're banged up defensively, Leroy, but
right. But here's what I would say about
offense.
Here's what I would say about that. And again, let me reiterate. I would not do it. I wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't do it either.
But sometimes in these situations, they evaluate from top to bottom at the position. And they may think they have a way or a player or players that can pick up that slack that we don't feel maybe as good about, right? And I'll give you an example. O-line this past year, when we came into the year, we had a lot of question marks with guys who hadn't performed. And the O-line held up pretty good. And it was basically with the same guys. Even with injuries, they still held up pretty good. So they knew something about that O-line and the people developing and the people coming up that we did not, nor did we expect. Yeah, because we thought that was going to be a problem.
But who's going to be the guy they trust? Chase Claypool?
No, I don't know. That's what I'm not saying. I don't know of a specific player.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, based on what they did with the offensive line, have they earned a little street cred with the game plan that they came about dealing with that offensive line and how productive the offensive line was? I'm not saying I would do it, but we also kind of raised the eyebrow when they really didn't do anything with the offensive line.
Which they're probably going to do this year. I mean, they might lose Robert Hunt, so they're going to have to probably
don't listen to Tannenbaum, man.
No, we're not. But I'm just listen. It's that time of year, Vlad.
Absolutely stinks.
Hey,
what
Vlad,
was the thing
it's
you
that
got
time of year where you got to kick the tires on a lot of things.
I get it, but there's some tires you don't need to kick.
Tell Leroy what Tannenbaum also
Tannenbaum's genius idea is the Jets should make a trade with the Denver Broncos to have Russell Wilson as the backup of Aaron Rodgers.
What?
Exactly.
backup.
The backup.
Exactly.
The $40 million backup.
Yep.
So
That's Tannenbaum.
you're gonna pay what, $75 million to your quarterback?
That's Tannenbaum.
But what so wait a minute. Hold on.
Exactly.
Also,
on.
like, didn't go great for Russ and
And
Nathaniel.
Nathaniel,
Hackett.
right?
Didn't
Clearly,
go
he doesn't
great.
think. That's what I'm saying. Don't listen to
Can
this
I-
man.
Can I say this?
He's a
Now-
bum.
Now, the Cleveland Browns and the New York Jets had very similar situations. Both had a very good run game, both had a very good defense, and both had a quarterback that they thought was going to get them over the hump.
One guy got hurt 4 plays.
Okay, but wait, Vlad, hold up 1 second. Cleveland went through 5 quarterbacks.
They
and
won.
still made
They
the
did a
playoffs.
great job. I get that.
Okay, but I'm saying that maybe all those Jets pieces weren't as good as we thought.
Could be.
And so I'm not going to risk trading any assets and giving up picks when you probably got to go a little deeper into, replacing or getting better at positions than you previously thought. I'm not giving up anything. I got to keep building.
Well,
So that's a moot point. We ain't no. Is Russell not going to get cut?
Oh, I think he probably is.
I
Like,
think,
I think they're rats up the ship on it for sure.
They're over. They're so over the cap. It's ridiculous.
But like, do you imagine how crazy that is? Like, do you know what a distraction it would be to have Russell Wilson as your backup to Aaron Rodgers, who's already a distraction?
Well, Russell's he's going to be the third man on. Like, he's not even going to be the most important person in his family.
Wow.
Ciara would take over New York. She'll be on The View and all of that. Do Broadway shows, the whole nine.
One man who was always a great person to trade for was Bernie Kosar, Leroy. Just tell us what old Burns got going on with his Kosar coffee.
Yes, sir. I'm back to my Kosar coffee. They have Kosar coffee in Vegas. And believe me, there were a couple of nights where I needed to get a little pick-me-up. But now I can get my Kosar coffee because it has a little bit extra. It has some vitamin D and resveratrol, which is nature's miracle antioxidant and anti-inflammatory. And this combination is exclusive to only Kosar coffee and is a perfect way to start your only journey to healthier life. Now, I've told you all the stuff that Bernie's been through with the 40 surgeries and 100 concussions. And now he's into what he puts in his body. So that's why he created this coffee. There's more. You can go to Kosar Coffee and get you some apparel. That's kosarcoffee.com and get an exclusive discount. Use code Leroy. And as Bernie says, you deserve to be healthy because you matter.